what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
Agree to disagree.
Okay,
Moving on.
well, the makeup bottle. It's like a ripped out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah,
She's got that black hair.
Hello, everybody. It is the episode we have all been waiting for. Goodness gracious, it seemed like it took forever to get here. You are listening to the official Royal Chick Chat edition of Chick Chat here on The Mesh. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Mary Margaret, and I've got Jeanette with me.
Yay, hello.
It's finally here, Jeanette.
Yes, it is.
The wedding has happened.
I'm giddy.
We have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Okay. First, let me do the housekeeping.
Okay.
Everybody that's listening, I hope you are listening either through The Mesh or through iTunes, two of our biggest deals. However, we're now on Spotify. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
We are on Spotify.
Exciting stuff.
Welcome, Spotify, to the Mesh family. Anyway, as I was saying, we have lots of shows here on The Mesh. We hope you will go and check them out. We've got lots of stuff going on. We have a new show that is called Big Fan, which is basically the counterpart to us right now.
Okay.
They talk about dude stuff.
Cool.
Lots of guy
All right.
stuff. And what guys would talk about. Now, I guarantee you they are not talking about the royal wedding.
But they should.
They probably should. Because there are some pointers they could probably get from
Yes.
that. Yeah. However, they probably won't. We'll see. Go check it out and see. Big fan here on The Mesh. Some of our other favorite shows have new episodes coming up. Entrepreneur Exchange, Foot Candle Films, so forth, so on. Go check them out over at themesh.tv. But we are Chick Chat, and we are ready to recap the royal wedding. The whole show, I have nothing else prepared. We are only
Okay.
talking royal wedding.
But can I just say one thing that's been on my mind?
Is this outside of royal wedding?
Ish, but no, it's related.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Start us off.
So the Harry and Meghan movie aired on Lifetime. Did you watch?
Yes, I did not.
Okay.
I was a little jaded by the Kate and Will story.
Well, and you would have been jaded by this one too. It was very similar. But I feel like the people who made that movie are either Chick Chat fans and listen to us.
What?
Or they're not buying the engagement story either. Because the way it happened in the movie was, I think it was his mother, the anniversary of his mother's death, and Will had mentioned to Meghan in the movie, of course, I don't know if this is for real how it happened, but that he just needed to get his mind off of it, or kind of not just sit and wallow in his...
Harry says this to Meghan.
Will says this to Meghan about Harry because he's a little on edge.
I gotcha.
Snappy, and she's like, whoa, what's up with that?
I gotcha.
So they go to Africa, and while they're there, one of the scenes shows them, talking and...
Canoodling?
They ended up in bed, okay?
Canoodling.
And then they wake up, yes, canoodling. They wake up the next morning.
Royal canoodling.
Royal canoodling, like no other. So, fast forward to the next scene. He's staring at her sleeping. Of course, she wakes up looking perfect and rolls over. And he says to her, some little spiel about he doesn't want to live his life without her. Will you marry me? And she's like, yes. And then that's when she goes and... They're officially engaged, I guess, but then they have a scene with the roasting chicken in their house where he was like, I feel like I should do this properly.
See? Okay, so
Nobody else is buying it. Nobody's buying it.
Roasting chicken was totally the lie they have put together for the press. It's all there is to
And it's
it.
either one of two reasons. Either
And
it happened in a very intimate way.
Yes.
Or they just want to keep that for themselves, which I appreciate.
Yes.
It's nobody else's business how it happened.
Absolutely.
I'm fine.
But don't sit there on TV and be like, we were roasting chicken.
I think
we
they
were
panicked.
roasting chicken. Really, we were roasting chicken. Harry, do you remember when we were roasting chicken that day? Come on. Don't nobody.
I almost roasted a chicken on Sunday just because of it.
Because. I don't even know how to roast a chicken. I need to figure it out, though, apparently.
It's not hard. Yeah.
Well, maybe for me.
Just go buy a rotisserie chicken, but yes.
I do know how to buy a rotisserie chicken. So, if Lifetime producers are fans of Chick Chat and you're listening right now, thank you for acknowledging that probably is not the true story.
It's the lamest royal engagement ever.
The dumbest engagement, but whatever. Way to be weird about it, Harry. Okay, so where in the world do we begin with this? I mean, you know what? Okay, so you woke up. Did you watch it live?
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
Yes.
I had somebody write me on Sunday, called me and was like, "Do you want to come and watch the royal wedding?" And I'm like, I watched it 14 hours ago. Like, when
it happened.
What are you talking about? And they're like, "Oh, I recorded it because I didn't have time and all." And I'm like, "Oh, no. I recorded it too."
Oh, yeah.
And
on 3 different channels.
Me too.
Because I needed to see the different coverage.
Because I needed to see the different people because I knew that
Yes.
E! Entertainment was going to talk more about the fashion. Mm-hmm. I just knew they were in the celebrities and the American side of things. I knew that BBC America was
That's the one I regret not taping.
Okay, well, BBC America was straight up like you're watching BBC News report of stuff. But it was very British. You know, they talked more about, oh, well, yes, of course, we saw this at the other wedding of such and such this. So they had more of that perspective. And then there was like the Today Show and CBS News that did it. So the Today Show had Savannah and Hoda there.
Tape that one.
You know how I feel about Hoda.
I do. So, and I also taped the ABC. I didn't tape CBS.
Okay, so CBS was more, wait, which one is Gail?
That's CBS.
Okay, that's what I was
I watched
with.
Robin.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
ABC is the one I did not do. So we had our bases
We
covered.
did. And I taped TLC. But I got a little bored with that.
I didn't even know TLC was doing it.
Girl, every channel did it.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, I know, right?
MTV may have done it, but I didn't check.
Yeah,
I was afraid to miss something.
CNN is like still airing it. You know, still going.
Still airing it, but I'm loving it because it's like the highlights.
It is. It's the condensed version with a little extra commentary.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Which is what we're going to do today. Okay. So we got up early to watch it. Mm-hmm. I restrained myself from texting you throughout the entire thing because I wanted to save it all for today.
Okay.
I got halfway there. I almost hit the send button. And I didn't. Jeanette and I do not live in the same town, so we did not wake up at 5 a.m. to just go next door.
Oh, had we lived in the same town, we would have watched it together.
We would have, but we didn't. And it was a Saturday, so we just figured, let's do this and then let's recap on the podcast. So here we are. All right. So let's first talk about the arrivals of the guests. Mm-hmm. Who all did you see that were memorable? Obviously, there was tons of people.
Well, the ex-girlfriends. I really don't like that British tradition because I always hold my breath during if there's anyone who sees reason. I feel like Meghan was kind of tense.
It was a really long pause, too, they gave.
Stop it.
I know, we were like, nobody's saying anything. Move on. Okay, so Chelsea was there and Cressida.
Yes.
Chelsea did not look happy.
She did not.
Cressida was fine.
She was like, no, whatever.
But I don't understand. So what is that tradition? There's a tradition they have to come?
I don't know, but I know William apparently had 5 ex-girlfriends at his. Camilla was at Charles and Diana's wedding.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's a status thing at that point to where they're
all in the same circle. Okay.
They are. They're all in that same group, but still. You think I'm going over there when I'm having to sit there and watch and go, okay, could have been me, and look at this show.
But they were kind of in the middle back.
They were.
There's probably Meghan's compromise, they don't sit near the aisle.
That's right. They do not get side-facing seats. They don't get
I don't want
seats.
you to be able to pick them out in the crowd.
No. Then that's fine. But I'm thinking about it from the girl standpoint. Don't know that I'd be showing up.
I would out of curiosity. If you invite me, why? I want to know why I'm invited.
True.
But I was waiting for the Friends moment when Ross got married and he said Rachel's name. As soon as Harry started saying his vows, I held my breath.
I heard Harry take you, Cressida. No.
Chelsea. I mean, which one are you?
Megan.
I love you.
Megan, you look amazing, Megan. All right. So they were there.
Yeah.
I saw a very dapper George Clooney.
Yes.
And
he and his wife look stunning.
Amazing.
He didn't wear the morning suit, but I'm okay with it.
I was okay with that because he brought a little bit of American flair to it.
And it was a shiny suit.
It was super dressy. It was not a casual church suit. It was a legit dress suit.
Yeah.
However, it paired so perfectly with what his wife was wearing, Amal, right?
Yes, they're a gorgeous
They
couple.
were fabulous, classy. It fit the standard of what you were supposed to look like. Done, right? Speaking of good morning jacket, though, I mean, good morning, David Beckham.
I mean, is there anything he can't wear?
No.
He's just beautiful.
I do not care what his tattoos say. I don't care that they are creeping up his neck.
He could have one on his forehead. I
I
wouldn't
don't care. I do not care.
You're very
He
handsome.
looked fantastic.
He looked great.
smoke show.
Like he smelled good.
Yeah.
Like he smelled
Yeah. Victoria, on the other hand, old Posh Spice, looked like she was depressed
She
going.
always looks like she's a little upset about something.
She looks like she was really mad about being invited and that she has to sit beside her handsome husband. And
Or
I'm
she's
sorry
just really hungry because you're so fit.
because you need a
you
cheeseburger,
need to eat,
clearly.
honey, dear. Please.
So we saw them. Have you seen the memes going around about Pippa?
And the Arizona can.
Yes. So
I can't get that out of my mind
I
now.
cannot get that out of my head that Pippa Middleton showed up at the wedding looking like the Arizona tea can.
The green tea.
Yes, the green tea, and it's got the green background with the pink, almost like cherry blossom look to it, on it. And sure enough, you put it side by side, and that stuff says Spitting Image. Looks just like it. So great. She's pregnant, right?
That's the word on the street.
But she looks like Kate was when Kate was pregnant.
Yeah,
and,
she'll probably
Kate
look-
was 8 months pregnant.
She'll
and
probably look
looked
3 months pregnant when she's 9.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so all good. I loved seeing some of the stars come in, like American stars. We
Serena Williams looked beautiful.
Serena looked classy and happy and, very, even though this seems very out of her element a lot of times, not just in fashion-wise, we know that she enjoys fashion. We
Yeah.
know that. But this was even different. It was just a different feel of everything. The color, the dress choice.
Her husband looked very nice. They looked good
handsome. It
together,
was
too. They were a
great-
gorgeous couple,
happy.
too.
They were kind of like, we are
were.
out on town without a baby is
Right?
what they're talking about right now.
Priyanka Chopra looked good.
Oh my gosh, she looked super classy. And she was with Olivia Spencer. Is that the girl's name that was on?
I know you're talking about the...
She was in the polka dot blue dress.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a little casual for the event.
For the wedding, yeah.
Right.
I'm sure it would cost lots of money.
Of course,
but
more than I would ever
She
spend on
stood
this.
out because of... It looked I guess a little British.
I guess
type
so,
look, old.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Priyanka looked like she was going to a royal wedding. That's what she was dressed for. She had on like a suit almost, I mean, it was beautifully cut, looked great. Kitty Spencer, one of my favorites. Lady Kitty.
Oh, wait. You're talking... Okay. I thought you were talking about the daughter-in-law of Camilla.
No.
The crushed velvet.
I don't even really want to talk about that side of the
Okay.
family because I have a problem with Camilla
Me
in the
too.
whole grand scheme of things. So I don't even want to talk about
Okay,
her.
you're talking about Diana's niece.
I am.
Okay. She
Gorgeous,
looked
in the
gorgeous.
green dress that was form fitted, and then she had the perfect
Matching-
hat on. It was
Yeah.
great.
Matching... Was it matching purse as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And, just in general, while we're on them, the Spencer family, class acts.
Yes.
Really, really class acts. It's so great to see that Harry wanted them involved. They were involved in wills, too, by showing up and being there and stuff. But, Harry had his aunt reading a passage for the ceremony. They're all kind of sitting.
Did they
front and
sit in
center
that
and
front
drink.
part of the
I think
church?
so,
Okay.
but towards the backside, like where Oprah was sitting.
Okay.
Yes, but
I'm sure they were fine with.
Right,
Who wouldn't want to sit next to Oprah?
Whatever, yeah.
What would you talk about?
But I just love that there's
Everything.
still that obvious connection there. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly they're family. I mean, that's that. But we all know some of the dirt that went down with Diana and the struggle with the family and stuff. So I love that that's still
They're
very
Spencers,
clear.
and they acknowledge that
Absolutely.
they are half Spencer, half Windsor.
That's right. I love that that's clear to everybody. Let's discuss some other cousins.
I mean, they tried.
The sisters.
They tried. They downplayed it a little bit more than at Will's wedding.
So did you hear that Eugenie, after Will's wedding, felt so bullied about her hat that she started a foundation against bullying?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good cause.
I mean, great. But I don't know. So now they kind of said, never mind, we're gonna downplay this because we don't want to get made fun of again.
But I heard her described as looking like a nurse.
It was not I did not think she looked good. Eugenie looked like she wore
going
that
to church.
simple dress.
She was going to church.
And then she wore that pillbox hat
Yeah.
that was, Jackie O inspired, if you will. And honey, you are no Jackie O. But this look, it just didn't look, it didn't look anything fancy. And then Beatrice, or whatever her name, wore like 6 headbands. It wasn't even a hat. So that was the whole thing. This year, fascinators were not in. Hats were in.
Yeah, I did see a lot of hats.
It's more hats than fascinators now. So the hats that, of course, have a side flip or things hanging off of them and all give that appearance of the fascinator because of the height and weird shape and stuff. But fascinators were definitely out. Hats definitely in. Headbands for certain cousins.
I thought Zara and her husband,
Mike
kudos
Tyndall.
to her for as
'Cause she's
pregnant as she
gigantic.
is.
Yes.
Even at one point in the wedding, you saw her sitting back, like, during the preacher, she was like,
Yes.
this is taking forever.
And did you see Mike rub her belly every once in a while and talk to her?
I saw them
my
talking.
gosh.
I didn't see rubber belly, but
No, super adorable.
they looked cute together.
They were adorable. But yeah, honey, just go put your feet up. Like, watch on TV like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Camilla, we said we don't want to discuss that family and everything, but she showed up and she had insulation on her head. It looked like ink insulation from an attic. Whatever. Done. So Oprah was there.
Yes.
I think Oprah could have done better.
Yeah. But
it's Oprah.
as a second choice, that's fine.
Right,
I
yes.
get it.
Yes, Oprah had to redo her outfit, so I get it. But I do think it was maybe a little ill-fitting. Mm-hmm. Not that I would speak ill of Oprah, Queen Oprah, ever.
No.
However, why was Stedman not with her? Did somebody else ask that?
No ring, no bling, maybe? Or no ring, no bling. No ring, no bring, maybe?
Yeah.
That's probably...
Yeah.
If you're not engaged,
you don't get
or-
a +1 if you're not...
it's the royal wedding.
Right. You're not technically... You're just cohabitating at this point and sitting. So, no, I'm kidding.
Not that I'm
Totally
sure Stedman
kidding.
didn't care.
I know, right? Stedman's like, girl, I'm watching this at home. What y'all talking about?
And I'm going to eat.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to eat, play on my phone. I'm going to take breaks, go to the bathroom whenever I want to, stuff like that. Stand up, sit down whenever I want to as well. Who else appeared? Anybody? Elton John was there.
David Furnish.
Idris.
Furnish. Idris Elba.
Elba, thank you. Idris, handsome, looked
handsome.
adorable. And
I didn't love what his fiance was wearing. It looked like a varsity sweater to me.
It did. Like a cardigan.
Yeah, it
know?
did.
I was like,
I'm sure it cost thousands of dollars,
yes.
but
Of course, her Suits cast was there.
they looked good.
Very glad to see that.
Yes.
Obviously, we felt like they would be there.
Yeah.
But it still was confirming, like, okay, she acknowledges, and this is not...
This was
Just
part
like-
of my life. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was
like,
very
here
much
they
a
are.
Hollywood meets English
Oh, it was.
aristocratic world.
It was.
And Hollywood brought the fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like David Beckham was like, thank you.
Yeah. Where have you been,
Yes.
all of you?
The last wedding was horrific.
Was
I talked the
boring.
whole time
Yes.
about soccer or...
Yeah, and this definitely brought a different flair
Yeah.
to it. So we know the guests were fabulous. We know that people looked swanky.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few fashion faux pas, but a lot of just
Mostly
good old
good,
fashioned,
yeah.
nice ones. It appeared that most everybody followed the rules. You do have to
Yes.
wear hose.
Oh.
Yeah, all the women had to wear hose.
Okay.
And they
That would have
could
been a
not
tough one
be-
for me, but okay.
Yeah, I know. But they could not be, I think the rule was like extreme colors
Had to be
or
nude
something.
hose.
Yeah, like you could wear shades of nude color, even if it was like darker or like a gray or something like that. But you couldn't do, you know how sometimes they get the trend of like ladies wear the like pink tights
Yeah.
that go with it or a fancy dress. Don't do that for the queen. She said no. you're supposed to wear a hat in church over there. So that's where that ties in. And of course, this was the church, right? So from what BBC America was telling me was that they agreed that most everybody looked to be following the rules.
Yes.
Done. Okay, so the church was set up lovely. I thought it was beautiful. Can we just talk
about for a second?
Yeah.
Her mom.
Yes, I'm going to get to the
there?
family
Okay.
in 1 second.
Okay.
What I was going to, yes. So the church.
Yes.
Would you be ticked off if you were sitting in the back
Yes.
section?
I thought that the whole time.
Couldn't see anything.
They had screens.
They had a itty bitty little mouse hole that they looked through, and if you might see the back of her train or something. So I wasn't quite sure. It was kind of like I flew all the way over here to sit in the back of the church and watch it on like a little screen and through a wall of
But they were there
flowers.
for the reception.
They were, I know, and I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't turn down an invite to go.
Right.
It's just I wasn't quite prepared for this whole like block.
Right. So that was my concern because when it was announced, I of course went online and was like,
Of
let me
course.
see what this chapel looks like.
Yes.
My first thought was it's going to be hard to see.
Yeah, like you have to use the whole church. You
Yeah.
can't just not use the choir section.
I didn't do any research on the design of the church and the
Yeah.
reason, but it's a very weird design. It's
super
like
bizarre.
I guess it's a medieval type church. So the front half is likely for royalty.
Yes,
And then I guess a barrier of some sort.
I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I guess if it was me at that point, I'd be like, I don't really know if I need to get married here, though, because
Right.
that is not the...
But they've had a lot of weddings.
I know. I'm not really sure how that works. I get it.
Maybe for people who don't want a huge wedding, but you can have a lot of people there. But when you're in the moment and taking your vows, it really almost only feels like
Point. Yeah.
your family's there.
So that's kind of what I was going to get to. So you've got this separation, right?
Yeah.
You got all the commoners in the back.
Everybody doing this on the aisle.
Yes, everybody's leaning
Yeah.
in, and nobody can take cell phones in there, but they're all leaning in from the back. The front half is really the creme de la creme. Like, these are
Yes.
the people, these are their people, right?
The choir had a better view.
I
than the
know,
invited
right? The
guests.
all boys choir sitting at the end. I had to sit by Oprah.
Again,
So
fabulous.
Right, we've got Oprah, George Clooney and Amal Clooney.
Serena and her husband.
Serena and her husband were on the other side, right?
Priyanka and the other girl in the polka dot dress were there.
Olivia Spencer did.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Did they get up front? Priyanka did. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay. But I know, like, Beckham was in the back. Elton John was in the back.
Idris Elba was in the back, but in the front row.
Yeah. Right.
Elton John was in the back.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the
Suits
Beckhams
cast
was just
in
kind
the
of like,
back.
we're friends, but we're kind of new friends.
Yeah. The
Suits cast was in the back.
Suits
yeah.
cast was in the back. The girlfriends were in the back. I mean, clearly.
Yes.
But, yeah, so obviously, top notch
Pippa's
people in the
parents
front.
were in the back.
And Pippa?
all of them, all of Kate's family were in the
that's
back.
like twice removed family, even.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah.
Will's side plus Kate,
But I mean, they weren't even like in the close front back. They
right.
were
Well,
in the back.
I think it was very clear, that you got the good seats up here. Like, behave yourselves.
Right.
So then brings us to the family that was there.
Okay.
So we did have Zara and Mike were there.
Yeah.
Zara and Mike, like we're buddies.
Yeah,
just like Zara and Mike.
They
were
seem like we
there.
can hang out with
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Eugenie and Beatrice.
Harry's uncles. And their
Harry's
families.
uncles, yes. And then, let's
And
see.
his aunt was there too? I know her. That's
Yes.
Sarah's mom, right? She's
No, Zara's mom is
Princess Anne.
Anne, right?
That's his aunt. That's his auntie.
Is this his aunt? Yes. So that's...
And I didn't remember seeing her, but I'm sure
And
she
then,
was there.
And Fergie was there, but not in the front.
Okay, so was she in the front? No.
I don't know.
She walked to the front with
Oh.
Jax Brooksbank.
But she did not sit with them, right?
She did not sit with them, but
She just wanted to see what it was like. She's all like, what's up here? No, I don't know. I don't remember
She
her
didn't
sitting
walk
with
in
them.
from the back, I don't believe.
Maybe.
I believe she walked in from one of the side entrances, but not the royal side entrance.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I don't get that whole dynamic.
She was there.
She was
which
invited.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
And then, of course, yes, the cousins were there and the fiance, Eugenie's fiance. And
Megan's stylist best friend and her husband were up there. I think their
they have the boys.
Were the boys? Okay.
Her best friends are a husband and wife. And, like,
Yes.
the three of them were like the three musketeers, she said.
Okay.
And the twin boys were theirs.
They were so cute.
Adorable. Yes. So then we have, of course, Prince Charles, who at the last minute had to fill in.
He looked really good.
For lame-o Mr. Markle.
Yes.
I used to have a little sympathy for Mr. Markle because I was like, you know what? Like, he actually might be the only non-cuckoo one in her family.
On that side of the family.
Yes. You know, so of the people that were making a fuss, honestly, her brother and half-sister or whatever they were. So I was like, maybe he is okay. And you know what? No, he's not.
But you know what?
I get he had heart trouble. But did you see those photos that he fake paid for? Like,
I feel like he was manipulated. I honestly do. Because
into making those photos?
Yes.
He arranged them.
I feel like his oldest daughter, Samantha, had a hand in
Trashy.
that.
Yeah.
I think that statement was true, partly true.
Yeah.
But I honestly think she had a hand in that because I don't think he wanted that publicity.
Well, I don't know.
What was the it wasn't like his trip to London wasn't going to be paid for and he had to earn money to get to London.
Well, no, sure.
So it wasn't like there was a need for that.
He was spotted yesterday buying Cool Whip topped coffee from Starbucks 3 days after heart surgery.
I feel like he was manipulated by his other kids and he feels some type of regret about it.
I'm sure he does.
Because he let those older kids manipulate him into missing the biggest day of his daughter's life.
Yeah, true. I just hate that. I mean, well, I don't hate. I mean, it's just you do the crime, you do the time. You got busted paying a photographer to take photos of you holding pictures of a London tour guide book. Come on. You do not need a London tour guide book when your daughter's the new princess. I mean...
Right. You've got a tour guide.
Yeah, exactly. The palace will
what
take
site
care of
should
that.
I see when I go?
Yeah, somebody take me to Big Ben. Like, it's not going to happen. So I just, whatever. But as much as I'm not a huge Prince Charles fan, bravo for stepping up and being like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do this. And I know it's not their tradition. I know it's not, what most people do. But
he also doesn't have any daughters.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
He was probably like... just as thrilled to walk her down the aisle as she was.
He looked it.
He did.
I thought he looked very nice. Like
and did you notice, like,
looked.
she went to grab the top of his hand, like the royal walk,
Yes,
and he was like, no.
He put it through
And I feel like that's a more intimate hold.
Absolutely. It's American hold,
It is
too.
an American
Yeah.
hold. And
I
he
thought it
looked
was
so
very
proud to be
classy.
walking her down.
Yeah.
And
it was only halfway. She did
Right, she did.
She did the common folk walk at the first back in the back of the church.
Yes.
And then
as common as you can be with, like, people, opera singers saying, oh, it's very dramatic. The sunlight's coming in, and, like, the page boys are like, oh, my God.
and then she makes it to the second half, and Charles meets her, and I did think that was super classy and way to go. So that does bring us to her entrance.
Charles looked good.
I thought so too.
He looked very handsome.
I thought so. I think
he's aged well.
I think it was that suit.
Yeah, and
I like the color of the suit he was in and stuff, and that was good.
He had a few years in his early 30s and 40s where he looked a little
rough.
Rough, but he's grown into a nice looking older man.
I think so too, and he. He knows.
It just makes
he's
me
getting
like
older, and his boys are older now. He's got grandkids. He made a comment. I heard him have a quote after Louis was announced, if you will. And somebody was like, how do you feel about having another grandchild? And he was like, of course, I'm ecstatic about having another grandchild. He's like, I'm just not sure how I'm going to keep up with all of them because he's like, I realize I'm getting older and stuff, but he's just a grandpa now. I think he's probably just relaxed a little bit. There was a time where he went through trying to prove so much to so many people, I think, because he's not the war hero like Will is. And he's not got his dad's, basically his dad was like a sex symbol, and I mean, his dad was a prince in his own right, and came in, and it was just how this. And Charles had so much to prove, and so now I think he's kind of like, you know what, I'm going to be a grandpa.
My mother's going to live to like 150.
I know, right?
So
like,
let's just do
who
this.
knows if I'm going to be king or not? Like, really, it's just I hope that's what he's doing at least. I hope he's just settling in a little bit and be like, whatever. Like, he's 70-something, I think. You know, I mean.
Yeah. Or the celebration of his 70th is today.
Oh.
His birthday is later in the year.
Is it? Okay.
Because that's why the honeymoon hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay. Seems like y'all could work some stuff out other than just waiting. I gotta figure it out. Make a big party out of it.
Hi, I'm Alan.
I'm Chris.
And we're the co-hosts of Foot Candle Films, a movie review and film discussion show here on themesh.tv.
Each episode, we talk about some new movies, cover some film news, and have some recommendations.
And trust us, we're just as likely to talk about the latest Jim Jarmusch film as we are the newest Transformers installment.
Hold on, don't get too crazy.
Well, okay, maybe not that bad. But you can find our show and all our episodes on themesh.tv. Plus, you can subscribe to get new episodes delivered right to your computer or mobile device.
We'll see you in the ticket line.
All right, so her entrance. I personally felt it was a little rushed, okay?
They were behind schedule.
True, I know. Yeah. Like, when you're getting out of the car, I have this image, and I know I shouldn't compare them, but I do, and I will, to Kate getting out of the car. You know, Kate actually had this moment where, when they were kind of fixing her dress and stuff, she kind of turned around, gave a wave to the crowd, has that iconic picture of her looking back with waving at the same time, and this beautiful smile, and it's almost that last, like, here I go, right?
Megan turned and waved. She doesn't have as big of a crowd.
Megan was tangled up in her veil. Like, it was clearly too much, I thought. The veil was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I get the symbolism behind it. It had all those embroidery of every country, a flower from every country in the Commonwealth.
Plus the symbol, the flower
US
of U.S.
Of California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I get that. That's beautiful. But I don't know that she needed so much of it.
So I think what she was going for was, we all know just looking at her style is not over the top. It's very
American.
It's very American.
Yeah.
And it's very kind of low key, almost like, you could buy this and wear it every day if normal people, if you have that much money.
She's like very American Eagle type deal, right?
Right.
You know, Nordstrom.
Right. And I also feel like there was maybe some want not to upstage, not to try to make her dress better than Kate's dress. Mm-hmm. I do feel like but I also feel like that Kate's dress is not something that Megan would have worn.
Oh, I agree.
I don't think we would ever see her in anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect her in something
I personally liked her dress. Did I think it was plain? Yes, but I think it was intentionally plain.
Yeah, no, the dress.
I think the veil was the focal point of her wedding dress and attire.
Right. I think what I was hoping for was to see a little more of her, because there was so much veil. It kind of covered up her face to where we could get that pretty shot of her, like, walking in, you know?
Yeah.
And instead, it was just like there was so much veil. Yeah. And then that sunlight hit, and then it was like there was 18 kids behind her or whatever, you know? And it was just so much kind of all happening at once. I was kind of like, oh, my gosh, she's halfway down the aisle now.
Well, it's not a huge church.
It's not, but I wanted that outside shot. I wanted that, like, that last second kind of look to the crowd type thing, right?
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it was just and normally if you just had the veil over top, like, you can see through a little bit more. But hers almost had, like, so much of it that it had waves in it to where it was creating double layers to where you weren't able to see as much. I loved her dress. I thought the dress was great. Yeah, it's plain, but it's fine.
Timeless.
I'm fine with that.
Her daughter could wear that 30 years from now and still look good.
Yes. I do think she could have had a last-minute steam done on it and a tiny bit tailoring done. Like, I think
I don't need to see the stitching.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. I think there could just be a tiny bit of, like, her arms looked a little baggier. Like, the
dress
part.
Do you think she lost weight, though, in between the time she was measured? Okay.
Yeah. But that surprises me, though, because you know what? Like, you're about to be a duchess. Like, get the house tailor to come over and work on it. Like, get it right. You know, I don't know. It just looked like a tiny bit too big.
And it also maybe looked like the dress was made up until the last minute.
Agreed.
Like, she didn't have the dress a week ago.
Agreed. Yes. I love the shape of it. I love the cut of it. I thought that was perfect for her because I feel like if she would have gotten married to Joe Blow in America, she would have had some like little bit more form-fitting dress, kind of sexier almost.
Yeah.
I would picture her in that. So I was thinking, surely they're not going to put her in like some princess ball gown, right?
Right.
And I think this was a very good compromise in the middle. You know, I mean, she had this big, huge train, the veil. It was not like mermaid cut, but it was, and it wasn't ballroom, but it was in the middle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like I said, I like the dress. I think it just, at the last minute, looked a little like it was just like, okay, let's step in our dress and go. Like, this was the royal wedding, right? So, I do take issue with her hair.
Yeah. I mean, I get that the hairdresser came out and said her hair was supposed to come down right there. I would prefer it not to during the wedding.
Agreed. Because she kept fidgeting with it. Like, I would see, she was constantly
And there were pieces just hanging out in the back.
Yeah. How was that not fixed ahead of
Pin it
time?
up.
You know, I don't...
Like, at least for the wedding, we don't need the messy front.
Right. I get the whole tendrils to have kind of coming down for your short layers around your face. I get that.
Nah, pin it back for the wedding.
But she didn't even have that for the wedding. It was one side that was sticking out that kind of kept falling down. Bobby pinned that thing up and spray it.
I loved the back of the hair. I
Yes.
did not appreciate the front.
No, I didn't either. And I thought it almost looked like she didn't...
I think that she thought it was her style, and Harry likes it when I wear my hair up a little bit down, so maybe it was for him.
And a little messy bun, and I get that. I get that, but still...
It's your wedding
It's
day.
your wedding day. And I sort of felt the same way about her makeup. Okay, so I get less is more sometimes, and I get that she doesn't need very much makeup. She's gorgeous, right? Maybe we could have had just a little bit more like blush and maybe a tiny bit of color to your lips or something.
Yeah, well, and I think part of the lip thing is that the queen prefers a nude lip.
Agreed, yes.
And there was commentary during one, I don't remember which channel because I was watching like 10 of them at the same time, but saying that makeup artists used to cover up her freckles, and she loves her freckles.
I did hear that too. She loves her freckles.
And
I
so
think
she
that's
wanted
great.
her freckles to show. And I think part of it was for her, Meghan, yes, this was her second wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry's first, so this was her wedding day. But she was also very conscious of the image that was going to be portrayed on her wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost like, for her, a commentary on it's okay to marry a prince and marry in this grand wedding and also be yourself at the same time.
I agree.
I think that was intentional on her part.
Of course.
So the hair, because yes, she knows that hair's going to fall. She's worn her hair every day. She knows if I just pin this back and don't do anything with the sides, this mess is going to fall on my head.
Yeah.
Pin it back.
Yeah.
That was intentional. I think the not lack of makeup, but the undertones of having very made up, absolutely,
Yeah.
because she wasn't shiny or dry or anything.
No,
You could tell
because
she had makeup
and
on.
she had a very intense smoky eye.
Yeah.
Done with her makeup.
But that was
which
also
is
intentional.
beautiful. Right,
Don't
which-
cover up my freckles.
Absolutely.
Just
Accent my eyes.
accent my eyes and let's not cover up my freckles, because maybe Harry loves her freckles.
I think the freckles were great, and I love that she can go understated. I think
Yes.
that it was, for me, it was the combination of the hair and the makeup that I was like,
Fix one.
let's not go overboard
Yeah.
on this whole I've got to be different thing, you know? And that, I'll actually, you know, we can talk about it right now, because I kind of, you know, I've told you I have my issues with her,
Yeah.
right? That, I think, is what my issue is. Like, I am all for that she has been divorced and is marrying into the royal family. I love that she's biracial. I love that she and Harry are kind of loose and, you know, kind of
Forging
free
their own
spirit.
path,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I love that. Like, I am all for that. But it needs to be organic. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to force on us that you are different than Kate.
But is it organic? I
don't-
think it might be.
I don't think so. I do not agree. I absolutely think that there's a part of Meghan that she realized that she was going to be this changing savior for the, you know, royal family type thing. Everybody's played her up as this, and she's like, yep, I'm going to roll with it now. That's my feeling. I feel like she's almost trying to be like, no, let's do it our way. You know, I'm picturing Harry coming in and saying something one day at dinner at home and saying, you know, we need to make this appearance and do this and such, and Meghan going, no, let's not, and be the rebels. You know, like, I'm wondering if she's going to have that almost pull, because here's a bold statement. I'm going to make a really bold statement. I might get lashed out for this, but I think Harry loves Meghan more than Meghan loves Harry.
Really?
Yep. I think Harry is googly-eyed. Now, I didn't say that Meghan does not love Harry. That's not what I'm saying.
I can't tell by the way she like hangs on to him.
I think that's a controlling factor. I think it's not a protection factor from him. I think it's she's got a hold of him. And Harry loves that. Harry loves Meghan. Heart eye emoji. Again, not that she doesn't love him. I do think she loves him deeply. I think that's obvious. But I think she wears the pants.
I could see it but I think
she came up with the roasting chicken lie.
Probably. Because he's probably like, let's go a different direction here.
Yeah.
She's like, no, we're roasting chicken.
He's like, that's not going to fly.
Because notice he was about to say, and then she was like, we were roasting chicken. And he was probably like, sure.
That's why she had her hand through his arm, sure she could squeeze it and be like,
roasting chicken. My mom is watching this.
Exactly. So nonetheless, I thought she did look beautiful. I mean, there's no denying that she looked pretty.
I've heard her described as bohemian, so I think she kind of tried to merge classic royal. We're at a royal wedding. I can't walk down the aisle barefoot with flowers just poking out of my hair.
Agreed.
I can't do that.
Yes.
So let's have a happy medium where I do minimal makeup.
Yeah.
And still do like a classic hair, but let's leave a little bit of tendrils because that's just me. I almost feel like she was very conscious because of the historic event that was happening, her being biracial.
There's and her marriage to eyes on her.
There was a lot of eyes on her, and she was making every effort to be as authentic as she could be.
Yeah.
She didn't want the moment to pass where people would be able to say, you know, Meghan was this, but on her wedding day it was like a completely different Meghan. Like we don't know who that was.
I know. And I guess there's just that traditional part of me that's kind of like, but
I just think
your wedding day.
It was, and I just think she's very conscious of her.
To be a little extra.
But she was
okay.
She was in a little bit more of a spotlight though, being the first half black woman being married. So I think she had a lot on her shoulders as to what do I do? Like she could have felt that had she gone overboard with the makeup, a lot of people in the black community could have been like, you're trying to cover up who you actually are.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so I think she had a lot of the weight of the world on the shoulders on her wedding day, which, you know, it wasn't just she's marrying the man she loves. There was a lot of historic connotations behind it. And her being authentic, I think, was number one to her.
Yeah.
I think I'm so glad her mom was able to be there. And I felt a little sad for her mom.
I was going to bring up how, like, I felt like, I was a little sad for her mom, but in the same respect, I'm kind of like,
I wouldn't have wanted that mother mess.
I mean, absolutely. But, like, you know what? I am going to be the strong parent right here, and I am going to go and watch my daughter get married, and I'm going to help my daughter get ready or whatever. And
I love that Prince Charles kind of made her feel welcome. And
walked her out at the end.
Yes.
I loved that.
Held her hand as they went down to sign the register.
Steps, you know?
And I read somewhere that Harry was even trying to make eye contact with her when she was sitting in the pew by herself, just to kind of say, hey. Yeah. Hey, Mom, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people might confuse her emotional appearance during the wedding as sadness, when I really think it was a mother's
I can't believe it's happening.
Like, oh my gosh, my daughter, I don't care who she's marrying, my daughter looks beautiful, and I just, you know, I'm sitting in a church watching her.
With the Queen of England.
Absolutely. You know, like that's any mom at any wedding, right?
Yeah.
If they're truly happy for their daughter.
And I think she was very aware of the historic event.
Absolutely.
That she's sitting in the same row on the other side of the aisle as the Queen. And she's
Oprah.
And I love that her mom kept her dreadlocks.
Yes.
And her nose ring.
Yeah. You know, she's a yoga teacher.
It.
I mean, it's, you know, she is what she is, and I think that's great. But yet she looked fabulous in her little suit and hat.
Beautiful.
It looks great.
And notice her mom kind of was understated with the makeup as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's just maybe their thing.
Maybe. And like I said, I think it was more the combination of the hair and the makeup together, which made it look like, because I did hear that they spent $20,000 on hair and makeup. And I'm like,
maybe for everybody?
Did you? Did you really?
For everybody?
Yeah. Because she did put that focus on a smoky eye. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of like, a smoky eye sometimes brings some more with it.
Yeah.
So maybe if the eye would have been a little more neutral colored, browns and pinks or something, then I wouldn't have felt that way. But it was charcoal.
Yeah.
And so it really brought out that like look to where it almost looked unfinished to me. So it wasn't that she was, I'm not saying she needed to be more made up. It was just maybe a more cohesive look would have been nicer. But again, obviously, I can't say Jack because she's gorgeous and really could walk down the aisle after she woke up.
Right.
10 minutes later, that's fine.
And I love the way Harry. I love that he didn't shave.
Oh, thank goodness the
He
beard
looked
stayed.
so.
That would
when he and William stepped out of that van. I love that uniform, like with the little.
I passed out with that long coat on because it looks
stunning,
phenomenal.
It's stunning. Like if you could pick any, if you're marrying a soldier and you could pick any uniform for him to wear, that's the one. And I love that they made the little page boys the same jacket and pants.
Unbelievable. I mean,
everything was just like
he's the men.
Oh,
total smoke shows. Total. Like William, I thought William looked fantastic.
Handsome. Yes.
Right? And he was smiling a lot. Like sometimes
you could tell he was emotional.
Absolutely. And Harry was nervous. It was, I loved in Will's wedding, that part when they're standing at the front and Harry kept peeking back to look at Kate and then he'd whisper to Will, like here she's coming, she's coming. She looks really pretty. Here she comes. Yeah. I loved seeing the brothers like chat while they were sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
Just to show like we're not, we don't.
Leaving the seat open for Diana.
That's not true.
It's not true?
Yeah, sorry. Myth buster.
Why was it open?
Because nobody can sit in front of the Queen.
Oh. Except Diana's ghost.
Well, Diana's like, I don't care if it was for me or not. I'm sitting right here.
Right here is where I'm sitting.
No, I know. I saw that at first and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But then I found out that it's just because the Queen needs a good view and nobody can sit in front of her.
Whatever.
Yeah. So
I'm sticking with my Diana thing.
I know. Well, I get it.
And some lip reader said that William said when they were sitting there, do you remember when Mom used to say, and like that's what they were talking about, like their mother as they were sitting there waiting? I was like,
I love that too. I want to believe that. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. And another point of Diana. I know we're just going from point to point, but we're just
so much to cover.
We're just walking through the day, really.
Yeah.
As Meghan walked in, she was carrying flowers that Harry picked from Diana's garden, memorial garden, and it was the white roses or garden roses is what they're called. I love that. Harry actually picked them, and then they trimmed them and had them put into a bouquet and stuff. But that's a fantastic point right there. That's great.
Yeah, he loves her.
Yeah, he's cuckoo for Markle, but there was all those questions about whether or not Diana's tiara was going to be used, and everybody was saying, "Oh, it would be fitting, it'd be perfect, it did this and this and this," and then the shape of it even looked like it that from when she was driving in the car, they thought it still could be that. And then of course she stepped out in the Queen Mary tiara, which was from.
Oh my gosh! It was beautiful.
Perfect.
That was
my favorite part of her whole outfit. Because it was not just big jewels and stuff. It was more the design of it, which I loved. It was a little more even like Gothic looking in that the lines on it and stuff. Thought that was fantastic. And then I heard later when somebody was saying, I was so disappointed she didn't wear Diana's tiara, and somebody reported that the reason that the tiara could have been worn, like it wasn't off limits or anything, she could have worn it, but technically it's in the Spencer line, and that this has not a Spencer marriage, if you will.
And in the next in line getting married as a Spencer woman,
exactly,
is entitled to
wear that. Yeah. And I mean, she could have worn it. Like they could have given her permission to wear it, and she could wear it. It's not like it was off limits for being a Spencer one, but they chose not to because it was not necessarily a Spencer line getting married in it.
Well, and she probably was also thinking about, because they reported how Diana had a headache the whole day of her wedding.
Oh, well, there
because
you go.
because the tiara was
was
like
so
just
heavy.
heavy and just
Oh, my God.
and that she didn't feel her headache didn't go away until after she took that thing off. So Megan's probably like, no,
I think so.
I'm good on the headaches.
I'm going to actually wear something that's a little lighter.
Can I feel it and see how heavy this is? Because I got a tiny little head.
Yes. Well, I put it out on Facebook that we were going to be talking about the wedding and stuff. Just wanted to say a couple of the comments, which this first comment will lead us into my next topic here. Valerie says on Facebook that she loved that the little boys were carrying the train and seeing their excitement behind it. And that Valerie says, I was in love with the bishop's sermon. I felt bad for Megan's mom sitting all alone, but I loved how you could see the love that she has for her daughter in her eyes, which we just talked about. I think that was more of just like, oh my gosh, my daughter's getting married. And I don't know that we should necessarily feel sad for her sitting there alone. I think she probably dodged a bullet with that family. So,
Well, but I do also wonder about her mother's side of the family. Like,
it's way different American a lot of times, it's just
was
way
her mom really the only one?
only family member there.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
that's
know her family history.
Well,
That's
that's the
fine.
thing, and that's a
Yeah.
weird. It seems
weird
to be
topic,
a weird
yeah.
topic, and so it's kind of one of those. They're not telling, then whatever.
Ain't my business.
Right, but I think she was a proud mama as
Oh,
well
yeah.
as emotional about it. Is much less sad. But so talking about the entrance, like I said, she had a daycare behind her.
The cutest
Preschool
little
class-
kids. but-
preschool class. Yes.
I don't think George and Charlotte could get any cuter.
Adorable. George and Charlotte, some other kids, Harry's godchildren were two of them, and then Megan's two best friends have twins, and they were the two boys that were carrying the train.
And I think two of the girls were also other
Friends of
yeah.
Megan's, yes. So I love that it was not just royal cousins. Like there's 13 of them down the line or whatever. I love that it wasn't just that. It was actually their friends'
Yeah.
children, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. So,
It wasn't
really
like
enjoyed
Priyanka
that.
and Serena standing up there next to her like, hey.
So I thought it was great. I thought the children were well behaved and corralled all in a perfect little line. I thought it worked out wonderful. They did steal the show just a
They
tiny
did.
little bit.
The boy's face when this music started, he was like, oh my
I know,
gosh, this
I
is
know.
exciting.
It was super cute, and as it should be.
Yeah.
They were all old enough that this is going to be something they remember.
Oh, yeah. And they're in the pictures.
And they're in the pictures, which we'll get to in just a minute. All right, so Kim on Facebook, Kim Duggar Baker says, what I saw was beautiful. Can't wait to watch it from the beginning. Hope you recorded it, Kim, like we did on 18 different channels. Julia Sinclair says that tiara was all the hard eyes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, could not agree anymore, Julia. Says, too, the veil lifting was the sweetest thing ever. So when Harry takes the veil, puts it over her head, and then says, you look amazing. I mean, like,
and I'm so lucky. That's what he said.
oh,
you look amazing. I'm so
jeez.
lucky.
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that. Point 3 from Julia says that the Reverend shook up the monarchy in the best way possible.
He did. She brought the best of American
Yes.
and African American.
Well, in case everyone didn't know,
She's half black.
Bishop Curry, well, yes. Noted. Bishop Curry, who gave the homily or sermon, if you will,
Yes.
during the ceremony, I thought he was a fantastic addition to it. It really, I don't care what color he is, where he came from, what he was doing, but what he said was pretty awesome too.
He's basically saying we've got two different cultures marrying, and it's
everything.
it's all about love.
A whole bunch of everything.
Yes.
Here in America and across the world and everywhere else, doesn't matter, just in here in the royal family. Like, this was for everybody, everywhere.
And the royals were all looking like, oh my gosh.
Well, that's actually what Julia's fourth point was here, was that Eugenie, her reaction was hilarious, and I loved every minute of it, which I agree.
They all were so uncomfortable.
I think, and the ceremony has to go through the queen. So she signed off on it. She knows everything that was going to happen. And I think the queen's kind of like Charles at this point, too. You know what? It's Harry. Fine. Let him have it. Because she's going, okay, yeah, it's a royal wedding, but he's not going to be king, right. So we can let him get away with this. So I think she was kind of like, sure, whatever, he seems nice. And he gets up there and just lets it go. And I love that. In fact, Monica Brady on Facebook actually commented how many other people kept hearing Huey Lewis in the news during that beautiful sermon. And I replied with, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Because that's the power of love.
I was like, what?
Because that's all he kept saying. That's the power of love.
He lost me with the fire thing for a minute.
He did.
I don't know what the fire thing was about. I think he went off script.
And the bomb and stuff when he kept going. He kept doing this.
And texting. And I was like...
And I loved his enthusiasm. I loved the people's almost surprise that it was happening. But I think most of all, I loved just the message that he was saying. Yeah. I mean, it made complete sense. And why not that day? I mean, it's great. Yeah. Now... Fun fact, Bishop Curry, who gave that address, served in North Carolina. He, has been a bishop in this area through the Episcopal Church. I think it's amazing. Yes. I actually have a friend on Facebook who posted a picture of him at another colleague's, being ordained. Okay. And so they had him there, because he's a North Carolina guy. I love it. We got a little stake there.
The gospel choir.
The gospel choir.
I love Stand By Me, but what I loved even more was after the wedding when they started singing This Little Light of Mine.
This Little Light of Mine. I wish they would have played it more, for us to hear better.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't.
But you could see as they were walking down the steps, they were on the Amen part of the chorus.
Yes.
And it was that was like a magic. I'm getting chills now. It was like a magical moment.
It was great.
That was typical
that was
American
fabulous
wedding thing.
I think that was a fabulous addition. Really broke up that wedding too, because there were some parts that you're like, okay,
I was a little confused by the song choice, but I get it when I think about the lyrics. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I was still a little bit of a stretch though. I think it's another one of those okay, Megan, you don't have to try that hard.
I don't understand this whole Stand By Me thing.
Yeah, we get it. Cool. In fact, since you're the Duchess now, it is your job to stand beside him. You actually have to stand just a tiny bit behind him, if we're going to be honest. But stand behind me.
But only slightly.
Because we're royal. Stand behind me.
1 foot. Exactly.
You can hold my arm. That's it.
Okay, so the wagon ride, the carriage, the wagon train afterwards
in America.
We get in the wagon with hay. This was the British version of a carriage. Did you notice at the end of it, he gave her another kiss?
Where?
There's a picture of it.
Not where, on the
on the lips. There were people all around them. So it was after they had gone through all the crowd and through that long driveway, that long walk.
Yes.
And they were going back into Windsor Castle.
Okay.
I thought I saw, from my angle, my television angle, that he leaned over and gave her a kiss.
You realize you're the only person.
There's a picture of it.
I have yet to see it.
Google it.
Google it.
Because it was posted yesterday. It was the person who was taking the royal wedding photos. He was on the roof or something the bridge of the Windsor Castle, capturing them coming in, and he has a picture of them holding hands from up above. But then someone else also caught them kissing.
Yes.
In the carriage. I almost said wagon again. In the carriage.
Oh, I do see them kissing the carriage. Wait. Yeah, I do. I do see them kissing the carriage.
Yay.
Okay, well, I never saw this. Look at you, bringing something to the table here. The second royal kiss you might have missed.
Oh, I didn't miss it.
From Harry and Meghan.
I saw it first time.
I bet our PI did right there, brought it down. So they made it down the long walk. Good heavens. That was 2 miles, but it seemed like forever. I was like, okay, we get it. We're following them. Get to the next place. So they get to the next place. They have a quick change of clothes after some photos. Let's just talk real quick because the photos have been released.
Yes.
I think they're lovely.
Yeah.
They look great. I wish Louis was in them. I wish they would have brought Louis
I forgot about
in
that.
for the family one. You know?
I forgot about Louis.
Yeah.
But maybe because it wasn't part of the wedding. He
right.
wasn't there.
And I get that. You know, that's fine. But, like, it was the family one. So let's just let
Maybe
them
they
lay on Kate's lap and take them right back.
Maybe
You
they
can
have
go.
another one.
I know.
A private collection.
Maybe. Megan's smile in these photos, I feel like makes it not even look like Megan anymore. Because she's got this beautiful grin smile, and we're so used to almost seeing her with like this coy look, you know, almost like bedroom smile. And in these, they're like super big and
She's so
pretty.
happy.
And she is, and that's great. But the pictures are beautiful. I love the one with all the kids. That's always a classic
I
one.
love the
you
one
know,
of just the two of them sitting on the stairs.
on the steps. I think that one's great.
That's when you put in the frame.
Absolutely. That's when you replace the fake couple in. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best. Just going to my nightstand.
Yes. Good job, guys. So they made a quick change. And what did you think of Megan's second dress?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan of the hair again.
Nope. Nope. Pretty much.
But gorgeous. I like
felt
that
the
was
same way
that
about
was
the
the
hair.
for real messy bun. Like she took down the whole big do.
Yeah, she was all like, I don't need any
This
more
hair is
bobby
heavy.
pins. I'm like, yeah, you kind of do.
I wish she kind of would have wore it down.
I wish there would have been like a change into the down. Yeah, just a complete change, switch it
Yeah.
up. But whatever,
was
that
wearing
dress
Diana's
was pretty.
ring.
She was.
Oh, that
and
dress
it
was gorgeous.
Yeah, that was
Like
Stella
I was almost
McCartney.
going, could have worn that for the wedding dress.
Well, and a lot of people said that.
Yeah.
But you have to wear sleeves. Yeah,
okay.
you have to wear sleeves to get married. So, in the royal wedding.
And
so,
Harry looked so good again.
in that stupid handsome tux. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I just quit it with them already. I mean, if
it was
they're not the
fine.
most gorgeous couple, I just
Yeah. So I hear that at the reception, you know, Elton John played music, and Harry gave a toast. Will gave a toast. Apparently, it was very cheeky. Yes, because those are supposed to be. They said the best man toasts are supposed to be almost a little more of a roast than they are just a general toast.
Yeah.
So he gave a toast. Harry gave a toast. Meghan gave a toast, which they were all like, "Girl, this is not the time or place to do it." But again,
it was supposed to. Her father was
American.
supposed to do it.
so don't mean you have to.
She wanted to say
cover
something
his
about
butt.
her husband.
She wanted to say thank you to everybody, to the royal family, is what it was.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So Harry apparently got up and he did all of his thank yous, and then it says that the crowd that Harry got a lot of cheers when he said "my wife and I" and referred to her that way. Yes, Harry loves Meghan more than Meghan loves Harry. It was very off the cuff. It said he made a joke about how the Americans could not steal the swords for the evening, which I think was funny. What else? Let's see. I found some notes here about everything. You know that Meghan had an inspiration behind Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. That was one of her favorites.
For the second dress?
Well, that's one of her favorite weddings. She's been noted as saying that was like one of her wedding inspirations.
But wait a minute. Didn't we always see if that wedding was them walking out of the church and they got married in like a small...
Yes,
Small
but
church
that
in the woods
second
and-
dress was very reminiscent of
It
it because
was.
it had that higher neck, it had the sleeveless and stuff. So I can almost see where that
Okay,
came from.
that
in that
inspiration,
second
okay.
one. Yeah. I think that's what it would be. But she's always said that was one of her favorite.
That was a wonderful couple. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? Prince Charles was there for the first reception and then retired for the evening and let the youngsters have their fun, it said. I mentioned that... Oh, did you hear what their first dance was?
Yes, not thrilled.
Me neither. So, rumor has it, obviously,
So they're
weren't
all into the
there.
fashion side. They're into none of the like sentimental side
I guess
of
not.
anything.
Again, this is backing up my theory that Meghan's trying a little too hard, okay?
But we
So
don't know that
we are
she chose
told-
it.
Huh?
Do we know that she chose it?
Yes.
We do.
No, but I believe that she did. My thoughts are that their first dance, we have been told, was to Whitney Houston's "I Want to Dance with Somebody."
Who loves me?
I mean, that's not even the American
No,
song.
nobody in America would even choose.
That's the second song you
Whitney
play.
Houston didn't even choose that.
Right, that's the second song you play.
Right.
at a reception.
When you get everybody else
try to
out
get
there.
everybody on the dance floor. You don't play that for your first song.
Maybe
Like,
it has
never.
some sentimental meaning to them. Maybe.
Maybe, but again, play it like as a second one. I don't know.
After
What was
hearing all the rumors
did you
of Ed
have
Sheeran.
Do you have a reception?
Yes.
What was
Well,
your-
it was a small family wedding, but yeah.
But what did you have a dance? Did you dance to something?
For You.
What is that?
It's a Kenny Lattimore song, and it's about a wedding and people getting married and
Well,
like
okay,
going through
that
this
makes
long
sense,
relationship.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, it just, I don't know. It just seems like,
It's a slow song.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just seems like your first dance. And I get it. People do some like faster dances and stuff, but that one does not make sense to me.
Unless it was
because even the beat-
choreographed.
And I, won't
I
even
need to see
believe
the
that.
video.
I won't even believe it unless I see video. So, okay, that's that. I'm not a fan.
Or it might be another one of those, is this really the first dance, or is this what you're telling everybody the first dance was?
True. But no, I think this was the...
Well, I was a little disappointed because I'd heard Ed Sheeran was going to be there.
I saw no sign of Ed Sheeran. I saw no sign of any other Spice
Or the Spice Girls.
I only saw Posh.
Only Posh.
Which... bleh.
So
I never saw
I was
anybody
hoping
else.
that maybe he would sing or write a song for them.
Agreed. So yeah, so then they had, like I said, they had 2 receptions. The first one being a little bit more elegant, evening reception, and then the late night party one for the youngsters, as they say. They call it knees up. They call them knees up.
What does that mean?
Like that's what I read somewhere that it was called over there, like a reception.
A reception?
Yeah, like the party reception. It's called knees up.
Okay.
I don't get it, but whatever.
I mean, you lived in England for a while.
I mean, I did, but I never like got married.
or went to a reception.
I lived over there, but was not involved in the wedding scene.
Oh, okay.
I was 19, 20 years old.
Nobody you went to school with got married while you were there.
Getting married there.
And what, you go to a knees up?
I know. I don't really know, but I kind of dig it. I kind of want to call any party I go to now a knees up.
I don't get it.
Wonder
It
if
sounds a little.
I wonder if Eugenie at the knee up. Anyway. All right, so your overall score of this wedding. I mean, you got to take a whole bunch into consideration.
Considering I've watched it
Yeah.
over and over again
Yeah.
on a rotating loop, I have to give it a 10. But I like the mix of cultures in it.
Agreed.
I mean, again, I had some issues with her hair, but those are my personal views, and I'm sure
Absolutely.
she had her reasons for doing it. I mean, I'm sure she'd probably look at my wedding photos and be like, why would you wear your hair down on a beach?
I know. I just wish she
Like-
wouldn't fidget with it so much. Like in the
Yeah.
in the carriage, she was
But it's getting in her
constantly fidgeting.
eyes.
I know, she was constantly fidgeting. Whereas, when you have like, if you wanted your hair to be falling softly around your face, then quit tucking it behind your ear. She kept tucking it, and I'm like, that tells me she didn't want that thing around her face right then.
Or she's nervous.
No, she's an actress. She can pull any of this off.
I mean, she's an actress, but she's never been on a carriage ride with a prince, getting married in front of millions watching you.
Yeah, but
And you only got one take. You can't be like, hold on, I fidget with my hair. Let's do it
One
over.
take Megan, yes. So, who knows? I will never know, obviously, the true story about her hair or anything else, because they'll never come out and admit that it's wrong. But,
the hairstylist said it was supposed to be that way.
well, of course you would say
I
that.
didn't mess
if
it
you
up.
were-
Please hire me for your wedding. It was intentional.
Megan said so. Megan said to do it like that. Megan said so. She said she wanted one random piece sticking. And then did you see like,
one piece sticking
the one
out?
piece sticking out from her bun part that was just like hanging down
No.
and sticking out? And I was like, move that thing. I wanted Harry to even reach in and be like,
I'm going to tuck this.
I'm gonna tuck it under
While
the
I'm
bun.
fixing your veil, I'm just going to tuck this. That would have been
I mean,
the best moment.
I think that could have been
I like
television gold right there. But
you've got to think.
what if he would have licked his hand?
Let's just smooth this back. Did the
stick,
moms?
yes.
Okay, can we clear one thing up about the wedding too?
Yeah.
Megan did curtsy to the queen.
When?
Okay, so
We didn't even talk about the queen because you know what? Like
she's flawless.
she's
92.
There's nothing to say. She's wearing lemon lime color, and I adore it.
Right? Like, and nobody else could have worn lemon lime
Well,
to
that's
the
what I'm
wedding.
saying. I'm not wearing lemon lime. You're not wearing lemon lime.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
she walked in looking like a Sprite can, and it was
And
amazing.
said, I'm here, and I look fabulous.
And now y'all can sit down.
Right. So,
And you know what? Y'all got to stay seated until I stand up.
right after God Save the Queen,
Yeah.
Megan did curtsy.
Well, of course she did. She has to.
But everyone had thought she didn't because at that moment, the camera... First of
course.
all, can I talk about the camera work in this wedding? It was horrible.
It was kind of poor.
It was very bad.
Yeah.
So they panned up to an aerial shot of the wedding.
Because we all need that.
And you can't see her curtsy.
Yeah.
So everybody thought, after God Save the Queen, that Harry just moved her around and Meghan forgot to curtsy. First of all, I think the guards would have come out and been like, turn around.
The wedding is not over till you curtsy.
Right. Someone went down the aisle and been like, you forgot to curtsy, She would have stopped.
No, I think Harry would have been like,
Bow down. We can't move yet. You didn't curtsy.
Yeah.
I'm like, she took some liberties with her wedding, but that's one liberty she was not taking. Queen, I will not be bowing to you on my wedding day. I'm sorry.
Bohemians don't bow.
We're Americans. We don't do that on our wedding day. We don't bow to anyone. So for this moment, this is about me today.
And then maybe like Harry could have like broken into like, stand a little behind me.
Right. What if they would have danced out of the wedding? Remember people dance out of
me?
people dance out of the wedding? What if they would have done that?
What if they would have done the wedding entrance like that, like one of those Chris Brown songs?
Yes. You know what? I would have loved if that was their first dance instead of Whitney Houston, but
I mean, I guess I waited my whole life just one day. You
they
see, like,
danced out instead of walked out.
usually you're being like, hey,
And the Queen.
Yeah. Well,
No, they don't even go out of the same entrance. So they would have their walk with the
what if I feel like the Queen's a little bit more of like a Bruno Mars though. Like
You know what? If I'm marrying a prince, Bruno Mars is at my wedding.
Bruno Mars is in Oprah seat. I hate to tell you.
You're gonna perform, but you're invited.
Yes,
like
you're sitting in there witnessing.
I might even tell you to break out.
I want you to stand up at one point and like, don't feel like I'm locked out of heaven. You're like, I want some like breakout from Bruno
right
in my royal wedding.
at some point.
I want Bruno being that lady with the high pitched squeals that was singing whenever Meghan was walking down the aisle. It was like the weirdest,
Like are those angels
moaning almost.
Like I don't know what you're saying.
Like Dory, like from the whales. Remember in Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
And she's like, "You sound like a whale. I can speak well." Oh no!
Okay, so let's circle back around
Bring y'all back.
after the wedding,
Yeah.
and they're walking down. A couple times they panned to they never panned to Cressida. Like maybe one time I saw her in a shot, and she was just kind of she's like
"Peace
reading her
Yeah.
thing.
Like, I'm going to post on
But
Instagram right now.
they panned to Chelsea at least twice.
Yeah.
There was one moment before the wedding started where you could see her just sitting there and kind of
Pissed.
just looking.
Pissed.
And then during the ceremony, she just kind of sat stone faced.
And I don't mean British pissed, which
Right.
is drunk. I mean, like, American. She was straight up American.
I wonder if she was thinking at that moment, could I have handled this?
Well, you know what? They did say, the announcers on the show I was watching, whichever
Which
channel
one?
I was
Which
on,
one?
I know, whichever channel I was on at that time, basically stated that Chelsea didn't like all the rules.
Right.
And I think we all knew that because she was
Didn't
a little
like
bit
the
more
spotlight.
of a bad girl.
Yeah.
But that it wasn't even necessarily the spotlight. It was the rules. It was the structure.
Okay.
And that she didn't like that. And that was one of the reasons they didn't work out. It's because Harry was kind of like, well, I mean,
I can't do anything
that's
about
just
it.
kind of it. You're like,
Yeah.
it's just part of life and you're going to have to deal with it. And she just wasn't down for it. And that's one of the reasons they didn't work out.
But it was 7 years ago.
I know. And there's still that, like, I mean,
He's still probably her first true love, I would guess.
well, yeah. And I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Because they dated for 7 years.
Yeah. There was a long time we all kind of thought like she was going to have
she
to
ca-
get married
Right.
to him.
She came to
because
Prince
it had
William's
gone that long.
wedding.
Yeah. It had gone on that long.
Oh yeah, we I think even when we talked about Prince William's wedding, we're like, oh, Harry and Chelsea,
They're next
are gonna be
because
next.
they've kind of solidified this right here in front of everybody.
But she did not look. I mean, she looked okay coming into the church because all
Yeah.
the cameras were there. But I
Yeah.
think once she got in there and she didn't know if the cameras were on her,
Well, there's
you
no-
had that kind of moment of her. It looked to me like she was thinking about her relationship with Harry
Yeah.
and where they were today.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's not happy for him, because I'm sure she is.
Of course.
But every little part of you, when you find out that your ex or your first
We're
true
all
love got
human.
married, part of
Yeah.
you is thinking, like, what if that was me?
Yeah.
Like, could that have been me? Like, what went wrong to where it's not me?
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause Harry looks
for this,
good.
Except for this one time, I saw one of my high school boyfriend's wife, who actually, I knew her as well.
Uh-huh.
And they're married now. And I saw her at the Food Line one time whenever I was getting groceries. This is several years ago. And she had on, she looked, I'll be honest, she looked horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
And she was mean to her kids, and she had 16 of them running around or something. And it was just she was just buying boxes of cereal and stuff. You know what? I was like, dodged a bullet.
I thought the same thing about mine.
Okay.
I'd probably
Dodged
be
a bullet.
divorced with 2 or 3 kids.
Right.
And then you find out things later in life, you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
dodge that one.
Dodged a bullet. Yes. So, maybe if we take the other road of it, maybe Chelsea's sitting there going, psh,
Good luck.
yeah, have fun with all this junk. You don't even know what you're getting into. I've already I served 7 years of
Yeah.
this. Wait till you see what comes next. Almost, that I wouldn't doubt if there's just a part in some people's minds that's sitting there going, okay, you enjoy being your, unique
Yeah,
right now.
he's great.
Yeah.
He's handsome. He's very sweet. He's philanthropic.
Yeah.
But you still got to abide by the rules.
And you still have, you don't have a year's worth of your, under your belt of royal duties, if you will. There's going to be some rules put down you have to follow. So
yeah.
it is what it is, but it was a lovely day overall.
It was.
I thoroughly enjoyed just the fanfare of everything because it's just not normal. We don't get to see it on a daily basis. For me, it's all about Harry. So, I loved Meghan's overall feel to it and the touches that she put on it. I do appreciate those. But Harry was a scene stealer for me. So
I love hearing the crowd cheer when they were like, I will.
When he said, I will,
and
and the whole place went crazy. And he started laughing. I thought it was great.
It looked to me like he cried a little bit.
But, everybody was saying that. And I'm just like, no, he wasn't. I think it's a nervous twitch. I did
The
not
wiping
see
the eyes?
Yeah, because if you look at him, it wasn't even that. It was like he did one and then he did the other, and it was not even. It was almost the nervous, I've got to scratch or itch or make a movement because I'm sitting there. He was visibly nervous. He was biting his lip at one point. He was fidgeting his hands, I think he was just a little
love that they held
twitchy.
hands the whole time.
Yeah,
I did that at my wedding.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
think it's a very American
And that's fine.
thing.
It is,
And
It
him
is.
watching her come down the aisle is a very American thing.
Agreed. He didn't have his back to her.
Which almost, I don't know whose choice that was. I don't know if he was like, no, I want to see her come in. Or,
Girl, it's Meghan's.
because I kind of like the
Meghan's
whole,
like, listen.
you don't see me until I get to the altar. I kind of like that.
Meghan was like,
Watch me.
Eyes on me, sir. Eyes on me. Yeah.
But I also, do you think also probably because usually when that happens, you at least have some familiar faces in the audience, like family members and friends who you can kind of look at.
over. Yeah.
She really didn't have anyone. And I think if she looked at her mom, she was going to start crying.
Agreed. But she's going to look at Priyanka. She's going to look
that's
at
not the
those
same.
friends walking down.
Hey,
But they're
Serena.
like best friends.
Right. Hey, Serena.
Priyanka's like one of her
Yeah.
closest friends. And she's met these other people. There's several of them I know she's met.
But William didn't look until she got to the altar. Did you notice that?
Right. Which
I like
I
that.
kind of
like that too. Yeah.
I kind of love
that. Harry's the only one who sees her until she gets there.
Absolutely. I thought it was super cute when he
Yeah.
was giving him whispers and stuff. So yes,
William's like,
know.
"Can I turn around now? Can I turn around now?
What does she look like,
dude? How's
Is
she look?
okay? What color is she? Really, does she look okay? I'm sure she does. But,
I
but
mean,
does she
just
look
tell
good?
me. Just tell me something.
It's cool. It's cool. I don't think you're hitting on her. Does she look good? She look hot? Okay, great. Yeah.
Then he turned around and he's like, "Oh."
I
He's like the page boy.
yes.
He did get a little smile in his face when she turned and
I
looked at her. He was like,
I
"Oh."
know.
I think he got emotional too.
I think there was. I do too. I think there's a. It's hard to compare the two because they're not meant to be compared, you know. And a lot of people were comparing it. I'm thinking, no, you
Theirs
can't do
had
that.
to be more formal.
Has to be. I mean, this guy, he's gonna be king. You know, I mean, there's no question about that, really. Like, there's just the math adds up. He's gonna be king.
Harry's like
And
Edward, where you forget that he has a third brother.
He might disappear at some point. Yeah,
Right. Like,
And
that's
develop.
right. That's Uncle Edward.
That's right. You know, change his name, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think I think Harry's, you just had to accept the fact that this was going to be a little more relaxed because of his place in the line, if you will. You know, I mean, there's just...
But don't you think he appreciated that?
Of course. I mean, I think he's totally fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't think Harry has a problem with that at all. But I don't want to discount what Will and Kate's
No,
was
theirs
like,
was
because
beautiful,
theirs
too.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
And that to me was like the fairy tale wedding almost. You
Yeah.
know, that's one of those that like none of us are ever going to get because we're not next in line, if you will.
Yeah, theirs felt like a grand affair, William and
Absolutely.
Kate's.
A royal affair.
A royal affair. And Harry and Meghan's, for the most part, felt like a very intimate family wedding, which is fine. I think that's what they
Sure.
wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, 600 people, intimate, but
Yeah.
royal watch, there were thousands at William and Kate's.
Yeah.
But even the ride, we're just going to ride through Windsor.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to do anything big
Yeah.
and fancy, and
Yeah.
no one
So,
gets to see me come out
what
after we go into Windsor.
And speaking of, we didn't mention Kate, but I thought she looked lovely.
She looked beautiful.
I mean,
yeah.
of
She did
course,
a great
just had
job managing those kids.
wrangling those kids in.
I mean, who wants
and
that job on your sister-in-law's wedding day?
Nobody
Or your
wants to
brother-in-law's?
babysit the nursery
Right.
during the church service.
I have
is
enough
what
kids.
It is. Yeah,
Right.
that's what it is, right? So,
I got nursery duty today. I'm just going to go.
who brought the animal crackers? Somebody throw animal crackers on the ground so they know where
Stop
to go.
sitting on the steps. We've got to get in the church. Come on. And without looking like you're pulling people's kids, like, let's go.
And you're like, there is no children's sermon today. Just act normal. Yes. So, bravo to Kate.
Yeah.
Truly a hero.
I'm
of
still
the
trying to figure
day.
out how she got in and seated. Before I could
It was
find
like
her.
I was sitting there watching her walk up the steps with the kids,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden she's in the chair beside them,
Right.
and I was like, "Wait,
What'd you do? Was
how
there a
did
golf
you-
cart?
You're amazing. You are super mom, and I love it."
Yes, I love that. Yeah, because Megan came down the aisle and she's got her thing like she's always been there. Like,
I know.
wait a minute.
Megan's like, I mean, of course, Kate's probably like fanning herself, and the camera's not on. Like, oh,
God, these kids.
verklempt.
Don't I have enough kids? I don't have to watch 8?
No kidding.
Day of the wedding.
Who invited these other ones? Damn you, Megan, and your all your friends
and
have
your
twins.
social life.
This is why I instructed everyone else in my wing of the castle to never have more children. I have them for everybody. Well, I thought it was a lovely day overall, and I
Oh, it
really
was.
enjoyed watching it. I'm so glad that we were able to get together today and talk about it. You know, it's going to be a while before we see something else. Eugenie's going to have a wedding next month, and that's fine, and blah, blah, blah. But
We'll
she's not
watch
going to have
Eugenie.
the... I'm sure we will, and we won't have the fanfare, though, on TV or anything else. But
Will it be televised?
it may be like a BBC thing or something like that. But I don't know that it would be like the whole shebang like we watched. But we'll give a report on that, and that's fine. We also, coming up on the next episode, we'll have to talk about what shows were canceled,
yeah.
what shows are renewed,
And we'll be on Baby Watch.
and we'll be on Baby Watch now because
Look, she's 36. They're not going to wait that
baby's
long.
going to happen soon. Baby's going to happen real
Baby
soon.
hasn't already happened.
Well, that was part of the reason people thought her dress was ill-fitting. Yeah. They were like,
Scandal.
Oh my gosh. I kind of
You better lie about that date.
You
He's
know-
only 2 months early.
You know, Megan's all like, it's an American thing. It's fine.
This is what we do.
Fine. Gosh.
I'm a divorcee, ladies. It's not a big deal.
You didn't think he was my first.
For God's sakes, he's got girlfriends here. No, ex-husband's not in the guest list, but hey, let's invite all the ex-girlfriends. That's cool, Harry.
You know, Megan's walking down the aisle. She sees Chelsea over there. She's like, I'm already pregnant.
Taps her belly. What's up,
so,
girl?
So glad you could be here. I have heard that, but either way, yes, there will be Baby Watch happening very, very soon. Of course, if you have other topics you'd like to hear about, I know today was all royal wedding, and sorry we were all over the place, but there was just so much to cover.
They crammed a lot in an hour.
It was a lot happening. I mean,
everything was like bang, 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 bang. The cellist, we didn't even talk about him, and he was amazing.
He's 19. Fantastic, gorgeous, and the conductor of the orchestra, P.S., was the conductor of the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra from Charlotte, North Carolina. Had 2 representations in the royal wedding.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why you should always listen to themesh.tv. Coming to you from Hickory, North Carolina. We really are so glad you joined us today and stuck around for this little bit longer episode, which was totally worth it. We are on themesh.tv. Please check out our channel at themesh.tv, or you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Podcast Pickle, anywhere you want to go, we are there. Go subscribe, like, follow. You can also see us on social media. And as you can see, thanks to everyone who gave us some wedding shout outs in the build up and anticipation of the royal day. But until next time, say goodbye, Jeanette.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We will catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.